You can learn every complex tool in Revit, master every hidden setting, and still have your model completely and utterly fail. There's a trap that almost every new Revit user falls into, and it has nothing to do with advanced features. It's a simple mistake that turns your powerful BIM tool into a dumb, expensive drafting board. In this video, I'm going to show you what it is and how to adopt the pro-level mindset that separates you, a successful project, from one that just falls apart. Picture this. It's your first day with Revit. You've got a blank screen, a world of possibilities, and a deadline breathing down your neck. What do? You're excited to make something happen. So what do? You do what feels natural. You start drawing. Maybe you have a DWG file from a consultant, so you import it. Big mistake. And then because you wanted to use those lines, you hit that big tempting explode button. Or maybe you just open up a plan view and you start sketching out walls with detail lines. You throw in some text, you use a masking region to hide something, and draw a table right on top of it. It looks like you're making progress. It gives you that quick visual win that makes you feel productive. But that mistake, that habit of treating Revit like a fancier version of AutoCAD, is the single biggest reason your project is doomed. It feels right, it feels fast, but with every click, you are actively sabotaging your own work. Why would you want to do that? The problem is you're ignoring the most important letter in BIM, the I for information. You're just creating a collection of dumb lines on a digital piece of paper. You're not building a model, you're just drafting. And that fundamental misunderstanding, it leads to a cascade of failures that will make your model fragile, inconsistent, and an absolute nightmare to coordinate. So why is it Revit as CAD approach so bad? It's not just a matter of best practice. It creates real project-breaking problems. Let's walk through the 4 stages of this catastrophe. First, you create a coordination nightmare. You spent hours drawing a beautiful floor plan. You've used lines for walls, masking regions for furniture, and text notes to label everything. Then you open up an elevation or a section view and crickets. Nothing. The furniture you drew isn't there. The changes you faked in one view don't show up anywhere else. You've created an illusion. Your documentation is now lying to you. What shows in the plan doesn't exist in a section, creating total chaos. This isn't just a software issue. This is how major construction errors happen on site. This is what generates endless RFIs, requests for information, because your own drawings are fighting each other. The builder is stuck asking, do I follow the plan or the elevation? And the answer is neither, because neither one is tied to a central, truthful model. Second, you build a digital house of cards. When you work with smart Revit elements like walls, doors, and windows, they're all connected to a framework of levels and grids. But when you just draw with lines, those connections don't exist. Your drawing is just floating in a digital space. So what happens when the design changes? Let's just say the client wants to shift a grid line over by, 2 feet. In a proper model, all the connected elements would intelligently adjust. But in your drafted model, you move that grid and your lines just sit there, totally disconnected. Even worse, if you or a teammate accidentally deletes a level that your 2D work was associated with, huge chunks of your drawing can simply vanish without a warning. The model becomes incredibly fragile. Every little change forces you to manually hunt down every single line, every bit of text, and every masking region across dozens of views. Just praying you don't miss one is an unsustainable workflow that basically guarantees errors. Third, you get dead data. The whole promise of BIM is that your model is a database you can ask questions to. How many type A doors are in the project? What's the total square footage of wood flooring? What's the volume of concrete in this foundation? When you draw a table with lines, Revit just sees lines. It doesn't see a table. When you use a piece of text to label a door instead of a proper door tag, Revit just sees text, not a door. That means your schedules will be blank. You will quantify your quantity takeoffs will be useless. You can't get any information out of that model because you never put information in it in the first place. You've paid for a powerful data-rich tool and you're using it as a $1,000 pencil. The entire value of BIM is completely lost. And finally, you create a performance killer. Those exploded DWGs, they unleash a flood of digital junk, useless line styles, extra layers, and fragmented geometry that bloats files and slow it into a crawl. That habit of using a model in place components, well, for everything instead of proper families, each one is a unique object that weighs down your entire model, making it laggy and prone to crashing. A clean, well-built Revit model can handle an incredible amount of complexity. A model filled with digital sludge will grind to a halt, wasting hours of your time just waiting for views to open. So, if that's the disaster, what's the solution? It's not the same secret tool. It's a fundamental shift in your mindset. You have to stop thinking like a drafter and start thinking like a builder. You are not drawing a picture of a building. You are building a virtual prototype of it, piece by piece. This pro-level mindset can be broken down into a simple workflow. If you follow these steps, especially from day one, you'll avoid this trap completely. First, the most critical, build the foundation first. Before you draw a single thing, set up your project structure. This is a non-negotiable. Start with a good project template, one that has your company's standards, views, title blocks, and families already loaded. Then, right away, set your project units. Define your levels for each floor. Lay out your primary grids. These are the bones of your project. Pin them in place so they can't be moved by you or others accidentally. Only when this framework is in place should you even think about building it. Second, build with smart bricks, not dumb lines. I'm going to say it again. Build with smart bricks, not with dumb lines. Instead of reaching for the detail line tool, you use the wall tool. Instead of drawing with a rectangular and calling it a door, you load a proper parametric door family. Use Revit's native system families for walls, floors, and ceilings. Use loadable component families for things like furniture, windows, and fixtures. Every time you place one of these objects, you're embedding it with data, its size, material, cost, and manufacturer. This is where the I in BIM finally comes to life. The model starts to know what it is. Third, respect the DWG. Let's be clear, DWG files have their place, but they have to be handled with care. You should almost never, ever explode a DWG file in Revit. Instead, you link it. Linking a DWG brings it in as a clean, contained underlay that can trace over with real Revit elements. You can control its visibility, and when the consultant sends an updated file, guess what? You can simply reload it and reload that link, and this keeps your model clean and lightweight, and it avoids infecting your project with junk. Understand that 2D has a home, and that home is in the drafting view. A common mistake for beginners is to overcorrect and think that nothing should ever be 2D. But some details, like complex flashings, connections, are legitimately 2D. The key is to keep that 2D information and it's separate from your 3D model. You can create a drafting view, which is basically a blank digital sheet that you can draw your 2D details there. Using detailed components, you can then place the view onto your construction documents. This keeps your 3D model pure while still allowing for all the necessary 2D documentation. And fifth, control your views with view templates. Stop manually hiding and unhiding elements in every single view. A view in Revit isn't a static drawing. It's a live window into your model's database. Filtered by rules, use these views for templates to define these rules consistently across all of your drawings. Have a template for floor plans, one for ceilings, and one for elevations. And if you need to change how your plans look, well, you can simply just edit the template once, and every view assigned to it updates instantly. This ensures consistency and it saves an incredible amount of time. Before we wrap up, if you're finding this advice valuable, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that this is the kind of practical, no nonsense advice for Revit the community needs. And it really helps the channel reach more people and are struggling with this exact problem. Your click makes a huge difference. If you only take one thing away from this video, let it be this: Revit is not a drafting board. It is a database with a nice graphical interface. The number one mistake that causes Revit models to fail is treating it like a 2D software used before, like AutoCAD. It's that instinct to draw lines instead of placing objects, to fake it in one view instead of building it correctly in the model. The solution is a change in mindset. Think like a builder. Always set up your structure first, your template, levels, and grids. Build with intelligent families that contain information, and respect the hard line between your 3D model and your 2D details that support it. The moment you stop drafting and you start building, you unlock the true power of Revit. You'll create models that are not only accurate and coordinated, but also robust, efficient, and full of valuable information. Subscribe for more videos like this to help you master Revit the right way. And let me know in the comments, what was the biggest AutoCAD habit you had to break when you started learning Revit? Thanks for watching.